Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about keeping you healthy, specifically when it comes to your nutrition. And there's so many things that we don't even realize. And these are like common things that are out there that I'm going to give you an example. The liver. You have no idea how important the liver is. And I just found this out yesterday. And I'm so glad she's here with us. Nancy Javaras with Nancy's Nutrition joins us. How you doing, Nancy?
Good, good. Thanks so much, Steve.
So here's what I heard. And this was literally yesterday, not kidding, that if you have belly fat, there's a good chance you have a blood sugar issue. But even greater than that, your liver does so much processing in your body. It's everything. It's pretty much everything in your body. And we kind of just overlook it. Like the lymph nodes. That's another one where, people don't talk about it, but they do so much.
That's so true. The liver is connected to every major organ in our body. So if the liver isn't doing well, you're not going to do well. It's amazing. So that's why we really need to focus on cleansing our liver on a regular basis.
So let's talk about that for a second, what the liver actually does.
Well, the liver has over 500 functions in the body. So we could be talking for the next 3 days about all the things it does, but it's connected to and affiliated with our thyroid. So anybody that has poor thyroid function, look to the liver. It's also connected to our gut. So it's very important for gut health. It's connected to our heart, our lungs. It's connected to our colon. It's connected to every organ, our kidneys. So if anything isn't working well, it's always a good idea to go to the liver, because if that's not working well, nothing else is. So what does it do? It helps with blood pressure, blood sugar control. So people have blood sugar stabilization issues, they definitely need to go to the liver. If they're pre-diabetic or diabetic, they definitely need to focus on their liver. If they have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, that's a red flag that the liver isn't doing well. If they have poor energy and they're exhausted all the time, that can be from the liver. If they have poor digestion, that's the liver. Poor elimination. You can see the list goes on and on. I mean, it's literally connected to every major function in our body. So if the liver isn't doing well, we're not going to do well. Also, mood, depression, anxiety, it can be affiliated with the liver. I mean, the list goes on and on. Brain function and the gut-brain connection. If the liver isn't doing well, then the gut-brain connection isn't doing well. So you can see the liver is just such an integral part of healing. And that's why I really focus on my liver detox program to help people heal. And that's where I always start, because if that's not doing well, it doesn't matter what else we work on. So
wow.
The main thing it does, Steve, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the main thing it does is it's the filter for all toxins in the body, all of them. So all the toxins that we breathe in the air, all the toxins from the food we eat, which food today is laced with toxins, the water we drink or any beverage we drink, any toxins we're putting on our skin. So any way we're getting them, whether we're breathing them in, eating them, drinking them, or putting them on our skin, all of those toxins go down to the liver to be processed. So think of it like the car filter in your car. If you don't change the oil in your car and you don't change the filter, how well is your car engine going to run?
Exactly.
It's run very well. I found that out a long time ago when I never changed the oil or the filter. So think of that. That's a good analogy, that it's the filter for your whole body. So if you don't change the filter regularly, it's going to get clogged. And when it gets clogged, then you can't drain out all the toxins that you have in your body. And then the toxins go to the weakest part, and whatever the weakest part is in your body, that's where you get the symptoms. So that's why it's so important that we need to live in a detox mentality of detoxing regularly throughout the year, like at least 4 times a year, if not more, because we live in a very toxic world today. There's toxins absolutely everywhere. And so our body's bombarded, never like in the history of the world ever.
I want to go hide. I want to go hide right now.
all the toxins, of chemicals. Think about it. If you listen to the environmentalworkinggroup.org, this a newborn baby today is born with 287 toxins. I think that's what the latest research said. A brand new baby in a brand new infant, they're born with that. It's crazy. So
Mm.
they're everywhere. Toxins are everywhere. So that's why we need to have our liver working really well to get those toxins out.
So suffice to say that all of our livers are probably screaming, begging for mercy, just overloaded, trying to process everything that's going on right now.
Absolutely. And also, I forgot to mention too, it's in charge of processing out all infections, all viruses, and all extra candida or extra fungal overgrowth. So those three things can create havoc with our health, with our immune system, and our GI tract. So I did say viruses. So anybody out there that has long COVID, go to the liver. That means your liver hasn't been able to process that out. So people that have it for one day and boom, it's gone, that means they have an excellent working immune system and a very good gut and very good functioning liver. So that's why we should always be, detoxing our liver, because it's affiliated with our immune system too. So we feel better, we have more energy, we sleep better, we have better hormonal balance, we have energy to work out, we have clear thought to think, we have better mood. So everything is affiliated with the liver, everything.
So interesting. And it's funny, but things happen for a reason. Just heard that yesterday. And usually when you hear the word liver, it's connected with alcohol. Yeah, don't drink too much. It's bad for your liver. But then that's it. You never hear it really too much more past that.
And the other issue, a lot of people did get overserved. I guess I'll use that word, overserved during COVID, either intentionally or unintentionally, because the stress, the fears, the this, the that. We're living in major fear in a pandemic for so long, for 2.5, 3 years. So the liquor stores were open and people were going. People, instead of starting their weekend on Friday, started on Tuesday or Wednesday, or they started early. So people got into a habit of abusing their liver with alcohol over this past 3 years. So they need to correct that. But that's only one item. A lot of people eat sugar. Sugar is evil for the liver, because you only need 1 teaspoon of sugar in your body at a time for the whole day to do all of its functions. And the average American gets 30 or 40 teaspoons a day. So we're giving way too much to our liver, and we wonder why we're fat. Well, it's too much for the liver to process. We only need 1 teaspoon. So you can see sugar is evil, but there's many other things too that are harmful for the liver. All the toxins, like the artificial sweeteners, you think, oh, I'm not having any grams of sugar. It's 0 grams of sugar. Isn't that great? And all those pink and yellow and blue packets, people think they're doing so good because, oh, no calories, no sugar. It's awesome. But it's toxic to the liver. All of them, they're toxic to the liver. So it's a chemical. Also, preservatives in food, artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners. If it's not in nature, a natural color from nature, don't eat it. And then we get into the GMOs, genetically modified foods, which are very toxic because our bodies were not designed to digest them. And our liver says, what is this? This is toxic. And they're laced with glyphosate, which is in Roundup. That's the pesticide, and that's very toxic to our liver. And it's actually shown in studies to block the detox pathways in the liver, because the liver has several little drainage pathways. Like, I think it's over 100. I forget how many exactly, but lots of teeny weeny little pathways, and they're very small. And glyphosate blocks those detox pathways. So if you can't drain out those toxins that it's processed, you're going to have a major problem. Major. It's going to have major inflammation in the liver. And it's like taking out the trash. Picture your apartment or your condo or your home, wherever you live, and the trash pickup is on strike and doesn't come. And then it happens for week after week, month after month, and the trash keeps on piling up and piling up and piling up. and there's no place to put it. And then what happens with trash when it's not taken out? All these bugs start forming, parasites, bacteria start making a home there. And so that's what can happen in the liver. You wind up with liver flukes, parasites, worms, roundworms. I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm painting a beautiful picture.
I know. I don't think I ever want to eat again. Wow.
But that happens, and people don't realize what's going on in their body. They've
Sure.
abused it for many years innocently. Sometimes it's innocently, sometimes they know what they're doing and they don't care and they just stuff their face with whatever they want. But that's what happens to people. So the body can take a lot of abuse, and the liver is an organ that can take a lot of abuse. And it's one of the few organs that can regenerate. So there's always hope. No matter how bad people have abused their liver, there's always hope that you can regenerate it. So it's
Mm.
incredible. Give them what it needs and the nutrients, and you drain it out and do a detox and do it again and again and again. It's amazing how the body can heal itself.
So before we get to more details on the detox, I want to talk about something you just said in terms of Roundup and pesticides. When it comes to buying organic vegetables and fruit, it's an extra expense there. Is that so much more better? You really should be doing it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But look at that certified organic label. If it has that sticker, that means that they've gone through a major, major expense to get that sticker. And they've gone the extra mile to make sure that they don't have pesticides on their crops. Absolutely. If there's one thing out of the conversation today to change, well, two things. Get rid of the alcohol. Get three things. Get rid of the alcohol, get rid of the drugs, and eat organic.
Mm.
Absolutely, it's critical. And some people say it's so much more expensive, but you can also go to farmers markets. I know I've been to Union Square Farmers Market in I think it's 14th Street in Manhattan, and it's fantastic. And organic farmers come from all over to go to that market. So they're everywhere, even right in New York City. So, and that's a very metropolitan area. And I go to the one in Boston too, SOA Market, which is organic. There's so many different organic options out there. And if you go straight to the farmer, then it's not as expensive as going to a supermarket.
And I also heard because Whole Foods was bought by Amazon that they lowered the price of many groceries, including organic. So there could be some savings there.
Where I shop, very true.
Hmm.
Very true. Yep.
Yeah, I got to get on board with that. So yeah, okay, very interesting. Um, and I even heard, for the organic argument that you could have strawberries, blueberries, whatever, and they're sitting in a tray until they're moved along for processing and whatever's got to be done. If they're not organic, they're sitting in a solution of the chemicals in Roundup.
Well, they're heavily sprayed with Roundup if they're not organic, heavily. And then they're sprayed again with anti-mold chemicals. So it's like a double whammy. And then they arrive at in the store. So I never buy a product that's not organic. Never. Never.
Why does the government allow? I mean, it's been identified that Roundup causes cancer and it's still being sold. There's lawsuits, there's everything bad about it. And yeah, I used to use it until I figured out or heard that how bad it was. How does that still continue to be available?
Well, yeah, that's we're talking about Washington D.C. right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we shouldn't go down that rabbit hole, but then, the argument
Like
could be,
I'm very into protecting food, protecting the environment and our food supply, and having it be clean, have it be original seeds from ancient seeds that are organic and certified organic with no pesticides on them. And there's a whole grow your own food movement, which I'm into too, and just, control what's going into your body,
yeah.
have healthy food going into your body. But I don't want to go down the political route.
Yeah,
That's
I don't do politics. Just it just
no,
yeah.
yeah, they
You know
do.
what? I think we're making a statement by not making a statement there. So we just move on.
I don't want to. I want to move right on.
Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. So
Liver-
with when we talk liver detox, isn't that something that was regularly done, hundreds of years ago, 100 years ago?
Absolutely, everybody knew the working with the rhythm of nature. You eat organic crops, you eat them when they're in season, and you also detox your body regularly. Everyone knew this, and everybody did this. Everybody deworms their animals, and we talked about parasites, I think, before
Yes.
last show. So yeah, I mean, they did that regularly, and the herbs are very easy to get. I mean, you can get them anywhere, right online on Amazon, or you can get them right on, at Whole Foods. And just eat. Also, just eating natural herbs from nature can really help you and help anybody to have good liver health. You know, eating fresh cilantro, eating raw
Mm.
cilantro, eating raw parsley. Putting it in a salad dressing, putting it in a dish. I mean, people ate like this, for centuries. I mean, since the beginning of time. But we've kind of gotten away from that. And so that's what I do with my recipes. I get people more connected with the herbs that are so healing and so powerful for the liver and the gut brain connection. And then they love them and they taste good. I mean, herbs flavor your food. And so they taste yummy, but they're so healing for the GI tract and the liver. So
Mm.
some of them are anti-inflammatory, so they can bring down inflammation in the liver, inflammation in the gut, and a lot of them, some of them are chelators that so they attract heavy metals because the liver's in charge of getting rid of heavy metals out of the body. And so, cilantro is a very powerful herb for that. So all of these are included on all the recipes in my liver detox program, so people can get more connected with, you're right, how we used to eat before, even not even 100 years ago. I'm going to talk about maybe 50, 60 years ago. I
Wow.
mean, my mother was in Kansas, she was from the farmland. I mean, they knew all about herbs and how they were farmers. They knew everything about how to grow, how to preserve food, how to can. I mean, all of that. So yeah.
So when we talk about the liver detox, but you know what? Even before we get there, what's your website? Somebody wants to go and learn.
Yes, thank you. My website is healthandweightlosscoach.com. That's that's AND, weightlosscoach.com. Or they can go to Nancy's, NANCYS, Nutrition Inc., Nancy's Nutrition Inc., and check out my liver detox. It's a great way to clean out your liver and so you'll have more energy, better sleep, more energy, better, clearer thought, and also lose weight.
So I'm going to do your liver detox. What's going to happen?
I have 25 short videos that you'll watch those before you start so you can learn about what's happening in your body and what you're doing and what educate you to why you need to do these different things. And then I have a 1 hour appointment with you before you get started and start the program. And we go over all the toxins that you could have received in your lifetime from the time you were born right up until present day, and find out where those came from. Where could those toxins have come from? Could they have come from the building that you lived at, that you grew up in? Could it have come from your mother when you were born? Silver amalgam fillings, if she had a lot of them, then you could have heavy metal toxicity. So I'm looking for toxic load. And then also what toxins could be coming into your life now with the lifestyle that you're living now. What are you eating? What are you drinking? What are you breathing for air? Do you have an air purification system? Do you have a water purification system? What are you showering with? Do you have a shower head that has a purifier on it? And then
Mhm.
what are you putting on your skin? What products are you using? Are you using certified organic products on your skin to shower in, to bathe in, to wash your hair, to shower, to shave with? And deodorant, what kind of deodorant are you using? Does it have aluminum? So I get into everything about your lifestyle. And then we get into food. What are you eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner on a typical day in your life? And then we get into what do you drink? What beverages? And then I get into all of the toxins that could be in what you're eating. So then and then I give you options to opt out of this choice and to have a different choice. Here's a safer, better choice for you. And then I give recommendations and links, and people can, you have the choice. You can buy them or you can buy something else. It's up to you. And then you get started. And then I coach you along the way. And
Hmm.
so when you're detoxing of the liver detox program, also, you're taking out toxins that can be in there. You can take out infections that were hidden in there for many years. Anything can be coming out of there because everyone is different. But also you can have hidden emotions coming out, and hidden emotions of anger and resentments that could have been stored even from childhood. And those can come out too. So that's what makes me different, because in ancient Chinese medicine, they say that each organ has different emotions stored in it. And according to ancient Chinese medicine, in the liver, that's where we store anger and resentments. So if we were angry at somebody, just say somebody, hit you in the head or something when you were in preschool, and of course you got very hurt, you could have stored that anger. I mean, I'm talking about something simple, but it could be a major trauma too. It could be, you got beat up and knocked out. I mean, it could be anything. It could be also physical accidents, like car accidents. I was in 3 total cars when I was in high school, and I was fine, luckily, that my angels were guiding and protecting me. So when I did my liver detox, those traumas, those physical traumas came out of me. So I help and give people sound therapies and different things. So that's why I'm guiding them depending upon what is there a physical trauma, is there an emotional trauma that's coming out, and then I send them links for sound therapy that helps them release out that trauma. And then I also give them recommendations. They can also go to a therapist if they want. Some people do, some people don't. It's up to them. Everyone's different. But I also give them recommendations if they wanted to go for tapping, which is, you've probably heard of it, which is a way to get out of stored emotions and trauma too. So I give them a long list of different ways to get out those traumas and that anger and resentment out of their body, because no one should be, and a lot of people have anger right now. Oh my goodness, a lot of people. After the past 3 years, everybody has some anger over something. So everybody should do the liver detox, even just for that, so they don't have that anger, which can fester and grow and grow. And then the liver doesn't work well when they have those emotions in there. So that's why my liver detox program is different. Most liver detox take these pills, drink this juice, and have fun. That's it. It's very simple. But mine gets much more involved. I get to all the layers, all the pieces of everything.
How did you know, Nancy, that you purged whatever was in you or in your liver, in terms of maybe anger, resentment, whatever it might have been? Did you feel lighter, better, happier, joyful?
Well, first of all, the memories came back of those accidents that it happened in high school. And I'm like, wow, I haven't thought about this in years, decades. And so I said, and so I knew what it was coming out. And then I processed it. I also do Reiki, so I was able to do that too. And then I do golden light healing, so that's another option. And that's how I know it's out. When I do those, for sure,
Wow.
it's history. It's gone. Yeah.
I got to
That's
tell you, when we first started, I'm sorry, when we first started talking, I said, yeah, I heard that the liver does a lot more than a lot of us imagine. Times that by 1,000 after talking to you in the last couple of minutes. No idea. And especially, that the liver can hold emotion and
Yes,
and resentment. And yes, I'm on board with Reiki and chakra balancing and everything, but I would have to believe that if you have a liver issue, all the other energy work you're doing, you're not doing it fully because it's holding on as well.
correct. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
How does it begin? Somebody is listening and running for their liver life and ready.
No,
Uh,
well, I want everybody to have hope out there. I'm here to spread a good message of hope and healing, that no matter where people are on their healing journey, they can start today.
yeah.
It's a positive message. It's a positive message that they can start right now to improve their health. Right today, they can get started. And no matter where they are, the liver can always regenerate. So that's the beauty of it. It's incredible. And if the body is given what it needs, given the proper nutrition, the proper rest, the proper hydration, and release what it doesn't need, which is the trauma, the negative emotions out, and get proper sleep, it can heal. It can heal. I've seen it again and again and again. So I don't want to scare people. I'm trying to give them a wake up call that today's the day they can start a new life and start their healing journey.
Fantastic. Yeah. It's, you don't know until you know. And now we know how important the liver is in our body, and so much more than I ever realized. And I'm sure anybody listening or watching is going to say the same thing. Like, no idea. We go to the website, and that's how we can find out more about the liver detox or sign up.
Yes, they can click on, I have 2 different ways they can sign up for the liver detox. They can either just do the basic plan, which is do it yourself. They just get a link with all the videos and the recipes, and then they do it on their own. Or they can sign up for the deluxe program, which is when I'm their health coach and I go through every aspect of their life. And then I work with them all 7 days of the program. So that's the deluxe program. So they can either do it with coaching, or if they do it themselves, then they can do the basic program. So those are the 2 ways they can do it right now.
Final question. How long does it take? Let's say you got started today. When would we be at the point where our liver's in good shape?
Everybody's different because it depends on their toxic. How many toxins are in there? Do they have heavy metal toxicity? That can take, a year to get heavy metals out. Or so were they a smoker? Were they an alcoholic? Did they take drugs? Did they take a lot of antibiotics? Did they take a lot of even pharmaceutical medications? Do they have high blood pressure? Do they have high cholesterol? I mean, it depends. Do they have poor gut health? Do they have poor drainage? If they're constipated, like I was, I could be constipated for 2 weeks at a time. It was horrifying. And then when I went, it was all blood and it was awful. So everybody's different. So I can't say, but my program is 7 days with me, but then they can repeat it again and again and again. And I'll give them the guidance, and they'll know, oh, I'm very toxic. I need to repeat this again and again and again in order to have a clean liver. So everybody's different. It depends on their toxicity.
Well, what you just said just backs up the reason why you should be doing it, because you have so many toxins in there. The websites, again, how do we reach you, Nancy?
Yeah, they can also give me a call at 508-527-4149. I'd be happy to talk to them. Again, it's 508-527-4149. Or they can just look at my website and check out Liver Detox Program under programs. And my website is healthandweightlosscoach.com. Or it's Nancy's with an S, NANCYS, nutritioninc.com. Nancy'sNutritioninc.com.
Thank you, seriously, for all the information today, because it's a mind blow what's going on. And I think hopefully it was a reset for a lot of us. Organic food, put that on your radar and go to the website and learn more. Thanks again, Nancy.
Thank you so much for having me, Steve.
Oh, I appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home.
that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.